If you're just thinking, I need more, I want more, I'm only working external as opposed to internal,
Right.
it's going to be stressful. It's going to be harder. It's going to take longer. You might still get it. It's just going to take more time.
Yeah, you're not going in the flow. Like that famous scene in Doctor Strange where the master, she says, you can't beat a river into submission. You have to take its energy and flow as its own. So you kind of go with the flow of the river, kind of a break of the quote there, but it's similar to that.
Yeah.
But what she's saying is, you can't beat it into submission. And this universe is a flow, an energetic flow. And you just got to get on the same frequency of what you're trying to attract. When you begin to realize you're bringing everything towards you, you're collapsing realities into existence versus chasing things, it becomes so much easier.
When someone has a mindset of I'm chasing after my goal versus attracting it, what happens?
Well, what happens is you find that there's so many more obstacles that appear or pop up, things that hinder you. Also, so many more distractions arise. But when you realize that you're here to attract the goal, attract those benchmarks, attract that happiness into your life, you then take a journey to inner space. And when you're working within yourself, you're clearing space, you're doing shadow work, you're doing forgiveness, you're speaking affirmations, you're writing things down, you're preparing, you're planning. It's all in here. Everything happens here first. Nothing manifests on the outside without conscious thoughts. So if for example, just this table, right? Somebody thought about it'd be nice to have a round table so people can have a discussion and sit and across from each other and talk. So this person saw this table in his multidimensional platform. He then collapsed it from multiple dimensions into 2 dimensions by drawing it on a piece of paper or putting it into a computer-assisted design. It's still 2D, even though it looks 3D. From there, once he gets it exactly like he wants it, he sends that instruction on that blueprint or that architecture, right, over to an engineer who then manifests it into 3-dimensional reality that can move around on the XYZ axis, and now we have this table here. But what we're doing when we're looking at this table and sitting at it, we're looking at a multidimensional thought that existed in someone's mind.
Isn't that powerful?
That's powerful. And we all have that power. So when people say, I don't know what this guy's talking about manifesting reality, well, there would be nothing here. This jacket, this table, right? Your watch, your bracelet, nothing would exist. This chair we're sitting in wouldn't even be here because these are all things that are manifested from conscious thought. So we're creating reality every single day and we don't even realize it. We're taking it for granted.
It's amazing.
Yeah. It's powerful.
It's amazing. Is there any other elements to this process that you would add?
I would just add follow through,
Yeah.
You got to follow through. Sometimes people are trying to get a little tired towards the end and they're like, well, it didn't happen this last 4 or 5 weeks. I'm going to stop saying my affirmations. Just keep going, man. Just stay in the system. Keep working on yourself. Keep the positive affirmations going. Keep being of service to others. Keep being the light of the world. Keep working on yourself. And keep taking action steps towards your goal.
And I would say, just to add to that, and maybe it's the last thing, and you probably already have this in your process as well, is when you receive, really express gratitude.
Oh, that's so important.
When you get a baby step in progress,
Yeah.
I'm so grateful for this process and the progress that I'm making every single day, even though it doesn't feel like a lot. I know it's so much farther than where I once was.
Absolutely.
And being grateful for how far you're coming.
Yes.
It's never going to feel like it's happening fast enough.
Yeah.
It's never. You always be like, I wish it could happen faster, right? And I think you're just resisting the flow. Like you said, when you're ungrateful for the growth.
Yes, because the growth is there.
And even a setback is growth if you're taking consistent action.
Exactly.
You might have to break certain patterns and you might have to disconnect with certain people or leave a job or you might lose money or opportunities at first to then move forward. And it might feel like, oh, this is even harder now.
Yeah.
But know that if you're taking the actions, that setback might be the ultimate growth that you needed.
Yeah.
And so when you gain, you're consistent with your word on a daily basis, and you are your word consistently with what your actions are going to be, and you do it, you follow through like you said, receive the gratitude, receive the fruits of the consistency that you've been doing on a daily basis. If you're like, I'm wanting to write a book and I'm writing 1 page a day, okay, receive that. I took action. I did this step today.
Yep.
And receive that gratitude.
Absolutely. Gratitude is so important. I did a whole series of gratitude, which actually was on Amazon Prime before. And a lot of people will say, thank you. But did you feel that thank you? Did you really emote and feel the energy of that gratitude within the thank you? Somebody can hand me a cup, a bottle of water, and I say, oh, thanks, man, But did I really feel that thanks? Did I really get the gratitude out, the emotion. So I started trying to connect with thank you, connect with thanking myself, connect with the agreement that I've achieved something in my life and accepting that gratitude, but really allowing myself to feel the emotion of that gratitude, because that's where the real power is at.
Man, that's good, man. I love this a lot. This stuff is powerful for me. There's a question I want to ask you about time. What is time, and is it an illusion?
Time is actually an illusion. Now, we have the arrow of time here in the third dimension because we needed to navigate through this realm. Without it, we'd be completely lost. I would never have been able to rendezvous with you right here to have this podcast on this particular timeline. But multiple timelines exist. So we've somehow, in this particular frequency that we're in, we've collapsed this particular timeline. But according to quantum physics, there are unlimited timelines.
Really?
Timelines where you and I aren't even sitting here. You're doing something and I'm doing something, right? We're doing something totally different.
In this moment.
In this exact moment. Timelines where we never met through our entire lives. Timelines where we could have been next door neighbors. I mean, anything you can conceive in the mind actually happened.
Really?
Yeah. This is the superposition and probability of the universe.
How did it already happen, though?
Well, there's so many multiple times. It's unlimited timelines. And so it's this, in science, they discovered that every potential outcome actually happens, which is wild.
How does it happen? How does science discover that or claim that to be
in
true?
The quantum world, when they looked into the quantum world, the subatomic, when you go down to the tiniest area, realm that we can get access to and start learning, we realize this incredible superposition that exists, where waves of everything that exists in the universe is a wave. Your house exists as a wave of potential. So you're not there, you're not looking at it, it's not a solid structure, it's a wave. If somebody else is looking at it, it collapses into the structure. Now, why does it collapse into the same structure that you know? Well, the atoms were stacked like Lego blocks to build what we call your house, and they're on a resonant frequency. So no matter who looks at it, that consciousness collapses it back into the same structure.
Wow.
But when you're not looking at it, it doesn't exist. We found that through science, specifically through the work of Professor Sylvester James Gates Jr. from the University of Maryland, former scientific advisor to President Obama. Him and a team of mathematics geniuses got together and discovered that the universe is running off of something called Adinkra codes.
Adinkra?
Adinkra codes. Yeah, Adinkra codes. And these Adinkra codes are the exact error correcting codes that run search engines and web browsers. Yes.
Wow.
So we're living in a creation. We are living inside of a creation. The method of creation, in my opinion, is a fractal holographic universe, and that is running on a particular code. And this code some of these codes are called Adinkra codes that direct the fabric of space-time itself. And this is incredible knowledge to have because it shows you that, yes, all the ancients were right. The biblical text, the Quran, and all the ancients from thousands of years prior to them were living inside of a creation.
Thank you for watching this video. If you want more inspiring clips like this, make sure to click right here to subscribe and click right here to watch that next video that is specific to support you in your life.